everyone, welcome to another ranking. In today's ranking, I'm going to be doing a ranking of all of John Grisham's movies. Yes, if you don't know who John Grisham is, he is a novelist. He wrote a lot of great books. I've only read, personally, 2 books. That's the Pelican Brief and The Client, and those are the only books I've read. But it's on my reading list and stuff. I've read mostly of John LeClaire's novels. I'm a bigger John LeClaire fan and Stephen King fan than a John Grisham fan, but I love his movies, though. A lot of his books were adapted into movies, and there's a lot of great movies. There's a lot of shitty movies, but there's a lot of great ones, and I'm here to talk about them, about all 10 of them. I personally don't know if there's more than 10, but personally I've only seen 10, so I'm only ranking 10. So here we go. Here's my ranking of John Grisham's movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, coming at number 10 is Christmas with the Kranks. Yes. I hope you all take a good look. If you ever want to be a filmmaker and you want to make comedy movies, this movie is the perfect movie to watch because this movie is exactly what not to do. Everything about this movie fails across the board. It's based off John Grisham's novel, Skipping Christmas, and again, I've never read the book, but this movie is god-awful. The book has to be better. This movie is a piece of shit. This movie's awful. Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, all awful. Dan Aykroyd, incredibly unfunny in this movie. I thought the movie could have been funny, the idea is funny, but these characters are so selfish and unlikable. How can you enjoy anybody? The only character that's likable is the daughter, but she's only in it for the beginning and the ending, and she barely says anything. You got the little kid from Malcolm in the Middle, and he's so annoying. He's annoying in Malcolm in the Middle, but at least he's funny in that. Nobody is funny in this movie. Tim Allen has always been a funny guy. I enjoyed him in Home Improvement. I love him in the Santa Claus, Galaxy Quest, Toy Story, but he is maddeningly unfunny in this movie, and he has no chemistry with Jamie Lee Curtis, and this movie just does not put me in the Christmas spirit. It's one of my least favorite Christmas movies, and it's the 10th best or worst John Grisham movie adaptations. It's number 10. It's the worst. Coming at number 9 is the movie Mickey. Yes, this movie has John Grisham himself in the movie, but also Harry Connick Jr. This is a baseball movie. I know a lot of Americans will love this in their baseball and stuff. I like baseball movies. I love Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, Major League. A lot of great baseball movies out there. The Rookie, another great one. But this movie was so boring, so uninspirational, so uninteresting, not even well written. Again, never read the original book, but this movie just isn't very good. Yes, Harry Connick Jr. has played in great movies, but he's not very good in this movie. This movie isn't executed properly, and it just isn't fun. I like some good sports movies, and I like a lot of great baseball movies. This one is definitely one of the worst baseball movies. It really isn't that bad. Coming at number 8 is The Chamber. Yes, The Chamber is Gene Hackman, Chris O'Donnell, and Faye Dunaway. And if you ever want to watch a movie that will probably 100% put you asleep, this movie is the movie for you. This movie's boring, it's derivative, it's a terrible, generic, dramatic thriller of a movie. This movie's boring. It's terribly boring. I could not barely remember this movie. I remember watching this movie 8 years ago on TV, and I wanted to turn it off after 45 minutes, but I stuck through it. I think I fell asleep in a few parts because this movie is so boring, so dull, so derivative, so horribly directed, and all these great actors in this movie, and they're just giving the most wooden performances ever. If you've ever seen The Chamber, I think you all know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen it, good. Keep on skipping it. Coming number 7 is Runaway Jury. Yes, this is actually part of the John Grisham movies that is actually pretty darn good. John Cusack, Rachel Weisz, Gene Hackman, all in this movie. There's some great comedy, great drama. It's got a pretty cool crime edge to it. It's a fascinating story. Again, I heard the original adaptation is a good read, but this movie actually is a pretty good movie. John Cusack, Rachel Weisz, and Gene Hackman are all good. I was interested in the story. There is some pacing issues and some predictability about it, but Runaway Jury is actually a pretty decent and pretty entertaining watch, and I would recommend it. Coming number 6 is The Gingerbread Man. The Gingerbread Man is not, no, it's not about the actual Gingerbread Man. It's not the fairy tale story. This is a crime thriller story with Kenneth Branagh. Anytime you put Kenneth Branagh in a movie, you got me invested because everyone knows I'm a big Kenneth Branagh fan. I love him as an actor. I love him even more as a director. He didn't direct this movie. This movie is directed by Robert Altman, but it stars Kenneth Branagh, Robert Downey Jr., Famke Jensen, Robert Duvall. all of which give great performances. This is a interesting character study. It's about a pretty unlikable lawyer, but gets involved in some pretty shady shit, getting involved with this girl who has a crazy father. She calls him the Gingerbread Man, and he's completely insane, and he's taunting Kenneth Branagh and his family and stuff, and one thing leads to another, and a lot of good twists and turns. It's a good law movie, good thriller, good crime story, and I enjoyed this movie. It's a pretty overlooked, pretty underrated movie. I kind of did predict the ending of the movie. I kind of saw it coming, especially in the halfway point, but the movie's still good. It's decently acted. It's got some pretty good tension, and Kenneth Branagh steals the whole movie. And I'm a big Robert Altman fan, so of course The Gingerbread Man is a delightful watch. Coming number 5 is The Pelican Brief. Yes, I've actually read the novel, The Pelican Brief, and it's fantastic. In this movie adaptation is a bit different, but still a really good movie, and I think the critics were a little too harsh on it. I think this movie is at 53%, and I don't see why. I think Julia Roberts, Denzel Washington, both gave great performances. It's a great conspiracy, it's a great story, it's pretty thrilling, it's got a lot of edge to it, and again, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read the novel or seen the movie. I don't want to spoil it. This movie is very captivating, pretty thrilling. It's a very well acted movie, and it's very good. It's an interesting story. If you like things about conspiracies and stuff, definitely check this movie out. I would recommend it. Coming in number 4 is the movie The Firm. Yes, The Firm is directed by Sidney Pollack, and this movie stars Tom Cruise. And despite this movie being a little overdrawn out and some things not adding up correctly, this movie is still a pretty solid movie. It does have it's just well done. It's extremely well acted by the entire cast, especially Tom Cruise. Sidney Pollack's direction is just spot on. I think Sidney Pollack was the perfect choice to direct this movie. I thought Tom Cruise was really good. I thought all the characters were interesting. I thought they were all very well developed. I thought Tom Cruise's character was extremely well developed, very three-dimensional, very interesting, very compelling. There is some unlikability at times with the movie, but the movie is still very strong, very interesting, very passionate, very loyal to its source material, and definitely my 4th favorite John Grisham adaptation. Coming in number 3 is A Time to Kill. A Time to Kill stars Matthew McConaughey, Kiefer Sutherland, Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson, and Kevin Spacey. This movie is one of the few great movies directed by Joel Schumacher. Yes, that guy that gave us Bat Nipples gave us A Time to Kill, which is a fantastic movie about what it means to do the right thing. Samuel L. Jackson is in this movie, and he is so freaking good. Yes, I hope they burn in hell for it. And basically, the story of this movie is about a guy who has a daughter that got molested, and basically Samuel L. Jackson shoots the guys and kills them, the guys that molested his daughter, and basically he's in a courtroom case with Matthew McConaughey, who's his lawyer, and basically he's on trial for murder, and basically it's all about race, and about murder, and about doing the right thing and stuff, and this movie is so well directed, so well acted by the entire cast, and I love this movie. It's one of my favorite courtroom dramas / thrillers. I thought Samuel L. Jackson was fantastic in every scene. This is one of the few good performances Matthew McConaughey gave in the 1990s, and all in all, this movie is just fantastic, and I would definitely recommend it if you've not seen it. Coming in number 2 is the movie The Client. Yes, another Joel Schumacher movie. Yes, Joel Schumacher did a lot of great John Grisham adaptations. This movie stars Tommy Lee Jones, Sandra Bullock, and this movie is about 2 kids who basically witnessed a suicide, and basically they know about a murder investigation and who did it and stuff, everyone involved in this murder case, and basically the lead kid in this movie basically has to testify against all these people who did the murder and stuff, and it's just Sarandon is his lawyer, and he is the client, and basically she wants to get him into witness protection before all these mobster crime boss guys try to kill this kid. In this movie, extremely well directed, again, one of the great Joel Schumacher movies. Before he did the Bat Nipples and the Bat Credit Card, he had The Client, and The Client is a fantastic movie. I read the book, fantastic book, and the movie is just as fantastic. And my number 1 favorite John Grisham movie is The Rainmaker. Yes, Matt Damon, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, one of my favorite Francis Ford Coppola movies. This movie also has Claire Danes, Danny DeVito, Jon Voight. This movie's fantastic. This movie, again, it's a courtroom drama, and it's also a pretty good dark comedy and stuff. And Matt Damon in this movie is such a likable character. This is the same year in 1997 when he did Good Will Hunting, so strong year for Matt Damon of 1997, and he was fantastic. fantastic, so freaking likable. Basically, he takes on a case that's almost unbeatable. He cannot win, but he pulls it out of his ass and does. Oops, spoilers, but yeah. This movie is so well done. It's a great law movie. It's a great drama. It's got some pretty good comedy in the movie, and it's a fascinating look about how to become a lawyer and how to become a great and decent lawyer and stuff. And I love this movie. Matt Damon's extremely likable. I love his chemistry with Claire Danes. I love the whole story with Claire Danes and her husband. Very messed up. I love Danny DeVito as his partner. Such a funny, likable character. And this movie is just a fantastic movie. I never read the book, but the movie is so good. I definitely want to read the book because this movie is extremely well directed. Francis Ford Coppola, perfect choice to direct this movie, and I freaking love this movie. It's one of my favorite Matt Damon movies. It's one of my favorite Francis Ford Coppola movies, and it's my #1 favorite John Grisham adaptation. So yeah, that was my ranking of all of John Grisham's movies from my least favorite to my favorite. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me what is your ranking of all of John Grisham's movies from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.